Hey Ben, it's PJ from North Carolina.
PJ, how's it going, man?
Surprised to hear that you say you don't know if you're religious anymore. I actually caught you, I discovered you by a post you made in June of last year about the whole gay marriage thing.
Yeah.
You being in support of marriage equality and you being a Christian, that was an interesting juxtaposition. So
well, let me be clear. Right? Like I make a really big distinction between being religious and my Christian faith. Like I'm 100% Christian and have really no logical reason to stop being, right? Even when I follow my faith down this logical analysis where I'm a critical analysis where I have nothing, I still decide that, I'm going to maintain my faith. I just don't participate in the religious activities anymore. I can't tell you the last time I participated in a religious service of any type. Not that I won't, I just haven't. So that's what I mean by that.
Fair enough. I'm glad you brought up the topic. I'll be brief about the whole Donald Trump religious right thing, because I was actually having a discussion with some people online, and we couldn't really come to an agreement. I'm trying to understand personally where the moral right wing at this point that support Donald Trump, where do they go from here? Because as far as I know, and I'm not trying to be like snarky, but as far as I know, and please correct me on this because I know you've studied the history of it, up until the whole same-sex marriage controversy, I guess, the religious right and the moral right were doing a plain, outright moral superiority argument. Like, you can't have gay marriage, you can't have polygamy, you can't have abortions, you can't have reproductive rights because it's immoral.
Right.
Then, when gay culture became more acceptable, it suddenly became religious freedom. It suddenly became we should have the right to choose and practice how we will, rather than ours is outright better. It's more there. It was a pseudo bygones be bygones, live and let live type thing. Though obviously it was not the case because of all the politicians and that were two-faced on the whole deal. Now Donald Trump, he's an authoritarian, plain and simple. There's no way he's going to give any quarter to anyone he doesn't agree with, or by proxy, that don't agree with his donors, because he's obviously led by money first. So even if he doesn't think that transsexual women using the women's bathroom is a big deal, if he does succeed or get a lot of money from the religious right or the moral right, then he's going to do something about it. Yeah. In that regard. So now there's no longer this is sort of conjecture. So there's with him, there is no longer a religious freedom or liberty argument because he's a strong man. Yeah. He's an authoritarian. But except with him and his activity.
Let me interject there. Except he's an authoritarian for them. I don't want to say most, but a lot of people are okay with the idea of a dictator so long as they're benevolent to their issue. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like the facade of religious liberty goes out the window with him, and at the same time, with his history of being sexually immoral with his actions and words and his appearances and whatnot, there's no longer a moral superiority argument. Right. So the people that are sticking with him, where do they go from there? Are they just going to outright say we just want a dictator to have others do as we say, not as we do?
This is the question. This is a great question. I don't think they can go anywhere except for evolve. And I think they wouldn't appreciate that, right? They need to evolve to the point where their political participation can't be based on forcing their religion on someone else through legislation. It can't, right? In other words, they can't participate in politics if their participation requires legislating morality based on their Bible. Right. They need to participate in politics based on the things that the government should be involved in, which is economics, foreign policy, and climate change, those types of things that we actually should be doing, those non-religious secular activities that affect every single one of our lives. We see a small trend in that direction in young evangelicals. And this is what I try to stress to a lot of friends of mine that are atheists, because I have a lot of friends who are atheists. I try to stress to them, our goal shouldn't be to end religion, because that's going to make religion grow. Our goal should be to have, just like people tell us all the time, right? The moderate Muslims should intervene with the fundamentalists and address the issue. So it's going to require moderate Christians to intervene and help them understand, the fundamentalist Christians understand, is that we have to live and coexist with people who we are going to totally disagree with because of our religion, but we don't try to force our religion through law. And our participation in politics has to be such. I say that they have to evolve. We have to evolve because they have nowhere else. They have nowhere else to go, in my opinion. Go ahead.
No, and as a final note, it's going to be hard for them to evolve, considering that a lot of fundamentalists don't believe in evolution.
That's exactly what I said. It's going to be hard for them to even accept that, man. Thanks for the call, man.
No problem, man.